want to show you guys a couple ways to treat jade. Sure, there's fancy ways to make jadeite like overseas in China, but ultimately for nephrite here in BC, this is what it looks like rough. It's the ugliest stone rough, I'm going to be honest with you. It needs to be polished. Once it's polished, it gets very beautiful, but as a rough stone, not interesting at all. Cut faces help a bit, but really you want to see it sanded, polished up. So there's two ways. One is with mineral oil. So this is a piece. Sorry for the trucks in the background. I got a warehouse here in BC. So this is a piece that we've oiled, and it's just standard mineral oil. Just like car oils, there's different weights to it. I'll be honest with you, I don't know which one's better, the lightweight or the heavyweight one. For this, I just really use whatever mineral oil is available. You can buy mineral oil at a lot of different pharmacies for quite inexpensive. It's like a gallon's maybe $4 kind of thing. Like, it's very, very affordable. It's used as a laxative. So things like baby oil are just mineral oil with an added scent. And you can do this with lots of other rocks, by the way. The more porous the rock is, the more you can oil it. It kind of goes like this. Like, the softer a stone is, the less likely it is to shine, and the porosity in it and the softness is going to soak up that oil. So things that are harder, more like gemstone, like I know nephrite's considered a gemstone, but things that are like 7 on the Mohs scale or higher, like agates, aquamarines, things like that, the oil isn't going to really help. But the softer stones like this, is just like sanding and working wood. You can sand it all day long, but until you shellac it or oil it, the life doesn't really come to it. So here's another piece that's oiled. I'll show you one more that the mineral oil has gotten into. And the mineral oil is really great because it gets into all the little deep crevices, right? All the nooks and crannies it's going to soak in. And the way you do this is you just take a, high quality like white paper towel. I'll just go over there and get it for you to really show you. You take a paper towel that's not drenched and dripping, but has oil absorbed into it, where it's not dripping, but if you were to squeeze it, it'll kind of sop oil out like this. So I use something like that, drenched in. I have a tub of mineral oil here, nice clean oil. It's the same oil that goes in saws too. If you have mineral oil for your saws, you can use the same thing. But you drench it in there, and then you just rub that all over the rough jade piece, and it's going to be sweating it out a bit and a bit slick on the surface. So make sure, again, you don't want to dunk that stone in the oil, because then there's too much. It's oversaturated. So once I've just coated and wiped the surface down, I use some paper towel, some brown paper towel like this, or whatever other paper towel you have, and you want to just wipe the excess oil off after you've doused it with your white paper towel that's covered. Then I bring it over here to a heat gun. You can buy a heat gun on Amazon for what, $25-30 nowadays. But you just heat gun it, full blast, get it super hot. Jade can get as hot as you want, it's no big deal. Get it super hot, and that's gonna open up the pores of the jade and allow it to soak in better. So heat that stone, and it'll absorb the oil. Now you can do the same thing when it's been polished, sanded, like finished jewelry. A lot of people actually do the same thing, and you can get even, this is the simplest way, right? Where I think my total cost right now is about $30-35 with tax, sort of thing. By the way, here's the difference. You can see the life coming to the jade already, from untreated, just washed, to oiled. You can get really fancy. What I was saying is that like places like Germany, or really in USA too, you can buy vacuum chambers. Let's go over to my shop. I'll show you what a vacuum chamber looks like. And you can use the vacuum chambers to really suck the oil in. I don't see much reason to it unless you buy the super fancy ones. So let me just get over here first and show you. By the way, if you want to know whether I know what I'm talking about, there's all my lapidary machines and carving setup and stuff, so I'm not just some rando. This is a vacuum chamber. So you can, it's often used for like casting to get the bubbles out, and most jewelers have one. And the plaster, you don't need to know that. So it's got a sealed lid here, and it hooks up to a pump, and that's going to pump the air out of it. And like I said, vacuum chamber gonna suck the oil into the stone. This one isn't heated, so you can get heated versions that at the same time heat the stone and suck that oil in. That's gonna start being more effective. This I wouldn't use for the process I'm talking about. It's more for my casting setup and mass production of metalwork. But if you get a heated version, you can do this effectively. But honestly, the $25 heat gun is just as effective, guys. So don't worry too much about that. The chambers as well are used for things like stabilizing stones with different varieties of epoxies, you know, resins and hardeners and stuff. So that's your oiling version. Okay, so from oiling we move on to lacquering. Now here's two that are by the way, but actually before I move on, I should tell you that the issue with oiled stones is that you're still gonna have little pockets where it glistens and it looks like it's been oiled. And the challenge there is that it's gonna get on your fingers all the time and it's gonna feel like there's oil or something. You're gonna feel the residue come off, right? Because even though it'll soak into portions of the stone, it's still gonna sit on the surface and sweat out. So if you go put it on a shelf right away, that oil is gonna soak into your shelf and discolor the wood. So you really wanna give it time to season a bit and like wipe off the excess. The heat gun will, yes, let as much as possible absorb, but there's still excess on the surface. You try and wipe it off again as much as you can, but ultimately it's still gonna be there. And that's one of the challenges with oiling, is even though it gets in all the crevices and makes the stone look great, the downside is the residue on the fingers and stuff. Now, a cool fun fact from the old days is that people used to, you know, take a stone and wipe it right next to their nostril, like where your nostril is on your face and there's oil there, on their forehead. And they'd use their literally facial oil and they'd rub that into the stone and that would oil the natural jade for them. So here's our unworked versions. Like I said, just washed. And then we have the ones that are lacquered. I'll go over the lacquer I use because this isn't the kind of lacquer that goops on the surface and creates, you know, a millimeter or 2 millimeter thick coating. It's a very, very light spray. And I learned this from the Michigan native copper people, because when they tumble all their copper and polish it up, well, guess what happens next? It just eventually tarnishes. So they spray coat it to seal it from that happening. So they're coating that. I use the same spray they do. I haven't experimented with sprays. It's something you can do because theirs might be optimized for metal specifically, whereas you could get one that's even better for getting into the porosity of stone. So you can still see there's white areas. This looks more natural to me because you have the little scars of white where it's been hit. Let me actually make sure you're seeing it, but it's still a lot better than what it was. When we look at our difference, we're starting to see the color tones come out more, a bit more depth of green to it, right? Let me show you a couple more side by side. And of course, these aren't the same boulder of jade, so they're gonna have some anomalies for that version, but overall the green will come more to life in this. So you can get in there, and let me show you the spray I use. And I just go out on a cardboard box and I dust it on top of there. The spray is great as well, before I show you what one, to dust cut faces rather than having to always wet a cut face, whether it's jade or another rock. You can dust it with this spray. And this one has been hit and you can see that there's some glistening on there, but it's that one I didn't do, this one I did, this side I did. So we can see it so much better than this one. Let me, oh, this is a heavy rock. So we've got that's kind of got some dulled muted grays down into the green coming to life. So, sorry, let me get out of the light. So the spray does help significantly on a clean cut face, because you don't have to worry about the spray trying to get under all the nooks and crannies. The spray that I use, you can buy it on Amazon. Find this exact bottle. There's other ones that look similar, but this is the exact one, and there's a number somewhere on the back of it. That one, that number, N190. Make sure that number matches, and you're good to go. That's the one I use. Make sure that, again, the picture is the exact same. And that can be used, like I said, on cut faces. The challenge, though, you have to make sure you do very, very light coats, just mild dustings, and you have to exercise patience with this. If you put it on thick, it's going to look like a lacquer is on there. So just very, very light. Don't, none of that crap. Just little dustings of it, and you're going to bring out the life and the color in the stone. without actually making it look like there's anything on there. So the plus side of this is it seals, it doesn't come off on the fingers. People will never even know it's on there. Make sure you do it when the stone is bone dry for both of these processes, bone dry, oil or lacquer. The downside is this still, even though it looks natural, it doesn't get into every nook and cranny. So I'll show you now the comparison between oiled, lacquered. There's all our lacquered ones, and then nothing at all. So the oiled ones, you just get more vividness because it soaks into the stone. Lacquer doesn't soak in, but it brings more life. Hope that helps. Hope that teaches you guys a bit about different ways to treat the stone. Now, of course, if you buy the high-grade jade, you shouldn't even need to treat it in the first place. But it's all up to you. As everyone says, just make sure you disclose it to your customer if you've done it. Things like spraying the surface of the boulder. We do this because you can sand the lacquer off instantly without it ever soaking deep into the stone. So I don't actually affect the stone. I just create a surface deposition. Whereas if we were to oil the stone, that'll muddle the colors sometimes for the carvers or affect it. Just like how weathering seeps into the edge of the stone. By the time they cut this, it may create a halo around the edge where the oil is only soaked in 5 millimeters, you know, a quarter of an inch, something like that. So by just dusting it with the lacquer, it helps us from having to constantly water the stone to let you see it. But it's also easily removable for any carver that's going to work that. There's one more thing I should add about treating the stones is if you put too much oil on a piece of jade and you need to get it off, you can use something like a linen cloth or a microfiber, basically something that's lint-free fiber, and you can douse it in a bit of isopropyl alcohol. In Canada, we get the 99%. In the US, I think you guys are stunted at like 70% or something. It's tough to get anything beyond that, but 70% or higher is fine, or whatever you can get. Just get the isopropyl, put it on a bit of cloth, and you wipe that cloth over the stone. I use this on my hand just because I don't know whether it's dangerous on the hands or not. It's not going to be horrible. Like, you're not going to die. It's not corrosive, but over time you could resist, or you could develop some kind of allergy to it, I figure, just like I have to epoxies. So I just wear gloves. Gloves are cheap, right? Get one like this maybe. I don't know if isopropyl messes with that at all, but otherwise just wear a nitrile or a latex glove. And you can just work it over the stone. Here's one that I worked it over, and it was actually pulling so much oil off, like just in quick wipes, you know, maybe a minute of just wiping that stone down thoroughly with the rag that had a bit of a doused area. And it started to get white areas on the surface again because it was pulling so much oil. So be selective with where you touch the stone if you have put too much oil. But the beauty of these are the same ones I showed you the other day. Because they heated up so much, by the time they cooled down, they basically absorbed so much of the initial oil that there is no residue on the surface. So if you do what I showed in the earlier video, where instead of dunking them in oil, you just sort of wipe them down with a lightly covered, you know, paper towel, or again, you could even use the microfiber rag like that to wipe the surface with oil. You're going to be fine. There's going to be so little left over that that it's not going to worry customers, or you won't really feel it. Like, there's my fingers after handling it. These ones I have not treated with the isopropyl to remove any oil, so you can see I'm just rubbing my fingers over the surface here, and there's no, you know, there's still friction on my fingers. There's not really any oil on them, so it's all bound within the stone now. It's all been absorbed. And like I said, that's just from heating it. The heat allowed the oil to go in. I didn't really have to wipe them down after either. So I'd say overall, the oil is best. It just brings so much more life to the jade. This is specifically for lapidary. And again, there's lots of different kinds. Mineral oil light. It's for skincare, apparently. Cleanliness, moisturizes dry skin, removes makeup. There's lots of things mineral oil are used for, because like I said, it's sort of the base for your additional chemicals. Like, you know, like I said, baby oil is just mineral oil with a scent. As you get crazier and crazier oils, it's just that with more things added. Have fun treating your rocks.